Yes, welcome to glorious Olympic Park for the Saturday night clash for A+ Contracting and Poly Welding Footy Fever. It's Reggie here in the box seat tonight, waiting for the assistant to turn up, of course, as usual. But it's been a pretty wet day here today. Earlier games saw Scone run out winners in the under-18s against West Newcastle. Reserve grades just finished with a 30 points to 4 scoreline. Muswellbrook. Oh. And the music playing over the top there. Sorry about that. And as I said, it's been a glorious day here at Muswellbrook. A few showers to settle in, and there's a fair bit muddy out there in the centre of the field at the moment. The field hasn't held up all that well with the rain that we've had recently. It's Reggie in the box seat, just waiting for the assistant to come along, out getting interviews. But it was West Newcastle that ran out winners. Scone Thoroughbreds ran out winners over the West Newcastle in the under-18s. And in reserve grade, it's just finished. A very sloppy, wet ground out there with all the rain that we've had come through, as I see lightning out to the west right now and the south. It was 30 points to 4 Scone running out winners over Muswellbrook in that clash. The first grade side, of course, it's going to be a couple of minutes until it gets underway. We had light issues here earlier with the power going out. And the players are just coming back from warming up. I noticed that the Rams are still down warming up, but the Scone Thoroughbreds are making their way back across to the shed. So it'll be a good few minutes before things get underway. Just to run through the sides. At fullback for Muswellbrook, it is unknown. I've been given late mail that it is Lenny Craft, but I'll wait for that to be confirmed. On the wing is Callan Cridland. On the other wing is Dominic Cooper. In the centres, Kane Cabillo and Dennis Spathis. The 5'8" is Bailey Ellis. Halfback Josh Moffat. Adam Grew and Jake White in the front row. Jacob Button hooker. Wade McKenzie is the second rower along with Toby Denyer. Jaden Rosberg at lock. Anthony Shaw in number 14. Marcus Orman in number 16. Chad Dewson in 17. Luke Van Roon in 18. Whilst for Scone, it is a polished outfit. Hayden Topoulos at fullback. Josh Adams and Jared Austin on the wings. Blake Johnson and Caleb Taylor in the centres. 5'8" Jared Wicks. Halfback Jake Watts. Front rowers Isaac Austin and Jake Clydesdale. Adam Clydesdale at hooker. James Everly and Luke Clydesdale in the second row. Daniel Ritter at lock. And Michael Radford, the one fresh reserve in the number 16 jersey, with a few players to be omitted there after what was a very sloppy game of football. But look, Scone too strong in reserve grade, 30 points to 4. As we see, just checking to see if the Rams are still down there warming up. As I said, there was a bit of issue with the ground lighting that we had to get people down here from within the council to have that rectified. It was the main breaker with all the rain we've had. Some water got into the meter board. But like I said, just looking out to the south, I'm hoping that weather does not start to cross this way, especially from the west-south area. It's lightning and heavy rain, so hoping for a drier track for the players out there than rain coming down, but it's very boggy, very wet and heavy underfoot. Darren joins me on the commentary. G'day, Darren.
G'day. Do you know anyone in the council that can help with the lights?
I think he did. I think he put his best foot forward.
Yeah, no, just saw a guy down there as I came back up the stairs, worked his magic, so... the game is going to go ahead. I've had a look at the radar. Doesn't look too threatening at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on that throughout the game to see if that changes. But it's actually it's not a terribly unpleasant night, despite there's a bit of a chill in the air, but the rain isn't coming down, so it's all set for a big game between these rivals, Scone and Muswellbrook, and a big crowd too. I don't know if this is quite common, Steve, being new to town, but there is quite a build-up. I've certainly noticed a lot more people coming in the last sort of 10 minutes or so.
Yes, we just hear the youngsters from the junior Rams that are going to be running out. Go the Rams.
Rams.
So, very cute. Getting the kids involved in the senior league and running out plays. We see the Singleton Greyhounds do it. Let's go Mighty Rams. So they give the microphone to someone that likes to chat by the sounds of it. But no, it's great to see
them over here.
Great to see the kids involved in the game. The Scone reserve grade side making the tunnel at the moment. for the Scone Thoroughbreds to run out. Muswellbrook only making their way back right now. Look, it's going to be a very tough contest, as you said. The rivalry is there between Scone and Muswellbrook. Typically, I find it's Muswellbrook-Denman now these days with the local derby and the local rivalry, and it's Scone. It seems to be going the area. Scone and Aberdeen have got that fiery passion. I always loved the Singleton and Aberdeen reserve grade clash. It's my favourite one over the years. It's been decades in the making that they just always clash. But Greeter and Singleton also have that running battle. But, Aberdeen at the moment, been down there with amongst the crowds. There was concerns about how the club's travelling up there at Aberdeen with players out. Of course, there's bad rumours that get around. I'm involved in my other life where there's a lot of rumours that get about, mate. So you just roll with it. That's all you do. And I think Aberdeen come a few weeks' time, and I've reiterated that to people, they'll be fine. They've just got to get the Daniel Hugerworths, the Harry Douglases, etc. back in on the field. So when that happens and you get Kyle Smith coming back into the side, I think Aberdeen will be fine. So nothing to be troubled about there. And the Scone Thoroughbreds make a big cheer from in the dressing sheds, and they'll take the field, I anticipate, very soon. Yes. And here they come. What an outfit they are, led out by Adam Clydesdale. Daniel Ritter there, he's course captain coach as well. You've got Blake Johnson out there. It's just going to be interesting to see who's defending on which side. But Muswellbrook, they'll be up for this one. As I said, it's not a full strength. I've noticed that Dominic Cooper, he didn't play earlier. I was going to say he played earlier. But Callum Cridland, fresh on the wings. They've got a bit of speed out there. Josh Moffat at halfback is going to be their go-to man with his kicking game, of course. If he leads a team around the park, that's the key for Muswellbrook. But Adam Grews go forward.
And Lenny's back in at fullback as well.
Lenny is back in fullback. That's great to hear because he is a very good little talent. He's very elusive as well.
And unfortunately, no Chanel Matayutai. He's sitting up in the stands. I'm just looking over at him as we speak. So he won't be on the bench as named.
Well, didn't have him down there, but if he was in the grandstand, you should have given him a headset.
He just sat down. So
should have given him a headset.
I can always go and grab him.
He's a big fan, so mate, the way my body moves, it takes me an hour to set things up for this. So it'd be. But of course, it's the 2002 Rams reunion from when they
grand final winning team.
Yeah, from when they won the grand final back in 2002
against Scone. That wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So
a few familiar faces down there: Johnny Kelman, Johnny Marco. I think that's Shane Renshaw that's travelled back. He's up in North Queensland, so great to see. Some faces down there I haven't seen for a while. Barry Edwards, the captain coach at the time.
Here we go. Here come the Rams, led out by captain coach Jaden Rosberg.
There they go, running out with the under-7s. It's great visions. I want to see every club get involved in this. Like I said, the Singleton Greyhounds are great at it, getting the kids involved. Like you said, it is a big crowd.
Yep.
It is not untypical of a Saturday night game at Muswellbrook. Usually they draw a big crowd on a Saturday night. The one thing being, when you watch it back on camera, you think, are these blokes for real? Because there's no one that sits over the other side.
Yes.
They stay over here out of the wind, in the nice warmth.
Is this an opportunity to ask you, with the redevelopment that will occur, will there be seating on the other side, or will it stay this sort of configuration?
We don't talk politics on Footy Fever,
okay.
But no, there won't be.
Okay.
There'll be something happening over there, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be brand new stand though, and still a second field. We've got to remember there is another field over there. So
there'll be action happening over the others in between, but we'll wait and see what comes of that. So we've had this the toss of the coin. Scone have won and elected to receive the ball and run towards the New England Highway side, the southern side. Jesse Rudder is the man in the middle with the whistle. Welcome back, Jesse. I haven't seen him referee a game yet this year. I know he's been about in a few games, but I haven't seen him.
Yes, he has. I was just talking to him earlier, just with the work roster.
How'd you go Cameron Munster?
Munster, yeah, had a good chat with Cameron Munster. His modelling career has been on hold for a while, he tells me, but apparently he was a better radio person than you were.
Oh, is that what he said?
Not quite. I might be making that up.
Marcus Bowery's a laugh. There we go with the kick-off. Josh Moffat punches it right down to the 10-metre line. It's taken on the full there before. Bang forward. Jake Clydesdale, that is, with the ball running flat out into the Muswellbrook defence.
That was a very good first run. Straight
out of dummy half goes to Clydesdale, goes around the back. I think that might be the man, Caleb Taylor, with the ball there. I'm just trying to see which side he's playing on. Caleb's out this side. Comes across field. Wicks onto the other Scone player there with the ball being driven back. Solid defence by Muswellbrook. Bailey.
And he's lost it.
Penalty. Penalty for a strip. Yep. 50-50, but some strong defence there from Muswellbrook as the ball comes directly for us and just drops shy. Smacks someone on the head underneath. Caleb Taylor will take the tap, and one would think he'd go himself. He does go himself, Caleb Taylor, with that hit. Hit up straight into the Muswellbrook defence.
Good run by the outside centre.
Wait, they're 30 metres out from the Muswellbrook try line. I forget to paint the picture. That's what they're listening for at home. The 30 metres out. Clydesdale gives the ball on to Austin. Austin's now 25 metres out centre of the field. Great defence from Muswellbrook in the opening exchanges. Wade McKenzie mainly and Bailey Ellis in there. As here we go across with Wicks. Comes across the side field and he's picked up there, Jimmy Everly, who's put down in a very solid tackle by Bailey Ellis. And again, Wade McKenzie in there. Now we go across Wicks onto Austin. This is dangerous, centre of the field, but he gets collected by Grew and the number 13 for Muswellbrook, who is Jaden Rosberg, the captain coach. Of course it is.
Making some easy metres here, the Thoroughbreds.
As now Clydesdale jumps from dummy half, finds Jay Clydesdale. He's spinning, he's trying to get it over the line. He's got it down.
He's there. That's a try.
Mate, the guy's 7 foot tall, and when he's twisting and spinning like that, you cannot stand back as that third defender. You need to get in there and add some weight for your mates.
Only a couple of minutes in, and the Thoroughbreds across for their first try of the game.
He's a big boy, and like I said, if he can twist and spin in tackles, it takes a fair bit of, for a 17-year-old boy.
He's a big boy and a lot of body in motion to try and stop, and
they had him up.
Too much. Yeah.
That third person that was standing behind needed to get back in rather than waiting for the tackle to be completed and just give that extra assistance. I think that sometimes the teams typically stand off and wait for Adam Clydesdale from dummy half.
And what you forget is what goes up must come down. So they had him up, but he obviously came down and was able to ground the ball. So. A disappointing start for the Rams. They're not looking too happy with themselves, as you wouldn't be, but it's early days.
Yes, right in front of the black dot, he went under. And it's now Watts from in front. I tell you what, I'm glad they've got the live score updates at the moment because it's going to be interesting when we start our live podcast. Benko and I and the rest of the visitors that... where they're standing, because Watts would be up there. Surely someone at home could fill me in on how many points he scored this year. Halfback, goal kicker, try scorer.
Well, they've scored the most tries out of any team by a long shot, so he would have kicked the most goals, you would have thought.
As he moves in and strikes it from 10 metres out.
Yep, easy.
Bit heavy underfoot as he moved in, but it's over the black dot between the uprights. 6-0 on the A+ contracting and poly welding scoreboard with only 3.5 minutes gone in the fixture.
I would assume Jaden Rosberg was telling his charges there behind the post. Righto, let's just put that out of our mind. Let's just start again. It's one try. We've got a long way to go in this game.
Well, I'll fill you in a bit of information when we get the next break, but here we go. It's again on the tee from the halfback Moffat. He puts it towards the bottom corner near the scoreboard. A bit of juggle there.
Bounce, yeah.
And it's been picked up by the try scorer, Jake Clydesdale, and he's made some great metres there. He's over the 20-metre line. Great defence from Muswellbrook in slowing down the play. The roll goes around the back, and that's Josh Adams with the ball there. Freddie, and he creeps his way up a few metres. He's over the 30-metre line. Plays the ball. Adam Clydesdale appealing for a penalty. And here we go, bang, straight into the centre of the ruck there. I'm going to have to get that boy's number. It might be Johnson, the centre. Plays the ball back, goes around the blind side to open side to Wicks, who puts it to topless, and he's down just shy of the halfway line. Topless. It was. Here we go. It was Jimmy Everly. My apologies. As they're brought down now after showing some ball out in front. It's the last tackle, 40 metres out. Jake Watts with a torpedo kick. It's
That's
going down the
swirling.
back. Number 17.
Let's a bounce.
Number 17's there at fullback, and he's been collected. That 17 is Chad Dewson playing at fullback, I see. As they play the ball back, and it's a penalty. Jesse Rudder, the referee, has given a penalty for being inside the 10, laying the foundation for the rest of the match. 20 metres out, centre of the field, Josh Moffat to kick for touch.
That's just what the Rams needed to relieve the pressure.
I don't think I've seen Scone give away too many penalties.
Oh, and the ball was kept in.
Kept in by tap back in for Jared Austin. Oh, was on the sideline. There we go. Tyrese Anderson standing in his ground saying he jumped from the field of play. He jumped from outside the field of play and tapped it in. So it's Muswellbrook with the ball. That's a let-off for the Muswellbrook Rams. Just shy of the halfway line, 10 metres in to take the tap. And it's going to be Wade McKenzie, I guess commentated the other weekend up at Aberdeen. He's folded. Absolutely folded and lost the ball by Daniel Ritter over the top, and I think Isaac Austin was the other one in there. He won't be happy with that. You can see it. He's got up and walked away. It was a clean hit. Wade McKenzie, uncharacteristic of him to drop the ball, but again, that ball is slippery. It might not be raining, but it's very greasy out there.
It was a big hit, though.
Oh, it was a solid shot. Jared Wicks to feed the scrum at the base. It comes out from Clydesdale. Goes on to the 7. Watts gives it on, and now they're nearly up to the 40-metre line in Muswellbrook's territory. Nearly 25 metres in from the sideline. They go down that left-hand side corridor. They're showing the ball, and that's a solid shot.
That's a big hit.
Rosberg, the captain coach, wrestles into the ground, and it's now 30 metres out, 15 metres in from the eastern sideline. As here we go. That's Luke Clydesdale with the ball, showing it and then going himself, and he's up to the 20-metre line. Centre of the field in the bog hole.
Good start there by the try scorer. He's making some metres.
As here we go. Comes back across field, and then no, show and go, and they're now stuck on the 10-metre line, the Scone Thoroughbreds. What they do, they go the blind side. It goes to Topless. He puts in the grubber. It's going to be an interesting call here. It's going to be grounded by the Muswellbrook Rams and a dropout, I believe.
Yep.
And that is the call from Jesse Rudder. The furthest away that we can see as the fog rolls in. It's going to get nasty later on in the night trying to see these players over on the far side. We are going to have to hook up that extra TV screen with our videographer, Chick Taylor, and unfortunately it's been used in the steak tent downstairs, but congratulations to them guys. They're in the warmth watching this game. As here goes Josh Moffat with the dropout. It's gone deep, 35, 40 metres it rolls to, unfortunately. And now it's big like Clydesdale, Jake Clydesdale, and he storms and he's over the 30-metre line and he's up to about 22 metres out. Inside to Ritter. Ritter takes it to the line as he does and he's put on his back. They've turned him. They've won the ruck there. That was a big talk in the dressing sheds by the coach, Rosberg. Clydesdale jumps from dummy half, comes around the right side, around the back play with Topless.
Cut out pass to the winger, and he's in.
That's a try to Jared Austin. Try to Jared Austin right out here. Typical Scone executed play. Muswellbrook players drifting across. Topless gets the ball behind from Wicks and then a cut-out pass to Jared Austin. Unmarked in front. With scrambling defence, was able to get the ball down right inside the touch post.
Yeah, good vision there to see that they were in from touch and just the simple cut-out pass and the winger goes over and referee Jesse Ritter having no hesitation in awarding that try.
They do that play about 20 times a game, and if it doesn't pull off, they just persist with it.
Do it because you're going to catch them out eventually, no matter who you're playing.
The thing is, when Wicks has that ball or Watts has that ball in hand, everyone's watching Topless behind the ruck instead of watching the ball, and that's where they're dangerous because Wicks or Watts could go themselves once they see the eyes shift and the feet planted for the inside ball, the outside ball to Topless. Interesting times. I'm trying to see who the 12 is out there, and that's the 3. I'm just trying to... It might have been Luke Clydesdale having them runs out there. He looks a bit younger. There you go, Lukey. Looking a bit younger from up here, mate, with that fog in that night. So
you won't mind that. And Topless now lining up the conversion.
They're terrible numbers, aren't they?
Oh,
that's the 7. They are terrible numbers. I've said it for years. They seem to just get it wrong. You cannot tell when that blue runs into the blue whether it's a 7 or a 1. So that is Jake Watts from the sideline in the crouch position. He does the toilet shuffle as Pete likes to call it. Here it goes. I need to get to the toilet. Moves in. Strikes it. No, that's going nowhere. That's over the golf club. That's just ready to be teed off with that ball. So, again, it is 10-0 on the A-plus contracting and poly welding scoreboard. 30 minutes still remaining this half. 10 minutes. Muswellbrook showing some great shape. They just need to hold that ball. As here it goes, a kick-off from Moffat. Goes down to that scoreboard side again. It's taken on the full there by Freddie Adams, who runs to the line and then succumbs to the tackle of two Muswellbrook defenders. 20 metres out, 30 metres out, 20 metres in from the sideline. And big shot there on Jake Clydesdale, the forward that scored the first try. Great shot, Wade McKenzie underneath and the captain, Coach Rosberg, over the top. Here it comes across the Ritter, plays it around the back to Wicks. Flat ball out to Watts. Watts takes it to the line, he's contained. Put down. Now they've got numbers. This is how they play it, like a chess game. It's going to be dummy half. Clydesdale goes to the open. Isaac Austin. Bang. He goes straight into the number 9 button and is put to the ground with the assistance of Bailey Ellis. Now to the open side again. And lost for players.
Out.
And now here they go. They're trying. That's a swallowing tackle by Wade McKenzie on Adam Clydesdale. Swallowed him. As Adam Clydesdale jumps from dummy half. And it's now play on, Muswellbrook there with an intercept attempt, but it was tapped back by Bailey Ellis and it's been collected by the number 3, Kane Cabillo. As here we go, Grew with the ball, not hitting the advantage line. That's what I don't like with the Muswellbrook side when they get flat. They need to hit it at the advantage line. This man, Wade McKenzie, will hit it there and he goes in behind the ruck before he's met by Clydesdale and Ritter. Plays it on the 40-metre line, 21 metres in from the grandstand. Here goes Rosberg, the captain coach, still going with the legs, nearly at the halfway line. Put down centre of the field, Butto at dummy half.
It's a bit like a turtle underwater. Those legs just keep moving.
Yes, here goes Bailey Ellis. Turtle underwater, I love it. That's the last tackle, Butto. Back to Josh Moffat. Puts it high. It's a torpedo bomb. It's going to be a tester for Topless. Pressure's on him, but he catches it on the full. He's palmed off one, and he's come to the defensive line. He's taken low in the tackle there by Button. Dummy half offloads off to Jared Austin. Jared Austin takes it to the centre of the field. They're now 35 metres out from their own line, centre of the field. Muswellbrook slowing down the ruck. That's what you need to do against Scone. Here goes Luke Clydesdale taking a charging run. He's over the 40-metre line. He's pushed back over onto the 40-metre line. Some solid defence there. As here it goes through Isaac Austin. He's at the centre of the field. The defence not moving up, waiting to meet him. Halfway, that's 10 metres he's made with that run.
Right in the centre where
Jesse's
the kick-off
screaming for the players to get back on side. As now Clydesdale goes from dummy half. Ritter try and go back in behind the markers. He's made 12 metres. Offload, off to Topless. Then it goes across field onto Watts, and Watts has given it on to young Taylor, who's who's taken down 28 metres out from the line, 20 in from touch, and it's the last tackle. They go the short side, a little stab into the corner. It's going to hold up in this wet weather, one would think, and it's had to be played at by Dewson, who's now playing at fullback.
Yep, better safe than sorry.
I thought you said Lenny Craft was in the side.
That's what the captain coach told me.
I can assure you he isn't out there and he's not on the bench. I'm just looking down there now. Caleb Taylor copying some nice comments from the people on the sideline about his pretty boots.
Yeah, they won't be pretty for long in this mud.
Here we go.
The field's holding up pretty good.
Josh Moffat, again, it's a shallow. Can't get the ball off the ground. It's got dribbled up over the 40-metre line. Here goes Jacob Clydesdale. He's wound up, bang, straight into defence. They've met him, contained him and put him down. 20 metres in from the eastern sideline, 25 metres out. Here it comes on to Ritter. He goes straight this time, doesn't dart behind the markers. He's still standing, had that arm free. Oh, at the last minute, they've tipped him and it's been given as
above the horizontal.
Above your words, exactly it. So it'll be Scone now with some shape. In the centre of the field, they'll take the tap. It goes off to Topless. Topless shifts it to Jake Clydesdale. He pumps off one. He's put down. Very solid tackle there by Grew. One-on-one after that bump off. They're coming the blind side. As you can see here, Wicks, who's floating around the back. It's Topless. They've given the ball to Topless and he's tackled just shy of where the previous try was scored. Wicks into dummy half. Spins it wide out to Adam Clydesdale. On to Isaac Austin. He's met in the centre of the field. Solid tackle there by number 10, White.
Had a big overlap if they kept spreading it.
Muswellbrook. They're still in the centre of the field, just near the right upright towards the highway end. Goes around the back. White gives a flat ball off to Luke Clydesdale. He's been taken down. They've got numbers to that left-hand side if they still go to that way. No, they jump to the short side. And it's Clydesdale's been hit with a great ripper of a tackle. I can't see that.
He still gets the ball away, though.
Gets the ball away, and they've been wrestled. They've lost 10 metres. They're 10 metres out from the sideline, 10 metres out from the try line. Here we go. Back to Watts. A crossfield kick, literally a crossfield. Muswellbrook should not play at this, and it's Cridlin that's collected the ball off the ground, and he's been belted over the top by Isaac Austin.
And the Rams players put their hands in the air and asked for the penalty, but nothing coming.
As here goes from dummy half, it's young Cabillo who takes the hit up. He's tackled shy of the 20-metre line, centre of the field. Again, it's Scone dominating that ruck. As here we go, number 5's in for a run, Dominic Cooper. He's over the 20-metre line, leg still pumping, tackled about 25 metres out. They're slow on that play, the ball down. As now Button at dummy half gives it off to Grew. Again, we need to get Grew a bit deeper and onto that ball, 30 metres, but still going. And he's up just 35 metres out.
That was a good effort.
Centre of the field, Button at dummy half. Off to Rosberg. Rosberg runs with the ball in both hands and leaves Isaac Austin in his wake, and he's up to the halfway line. 20 metres in from this grandstand side. Slow play the ball. Button back to Bailey Ellis. Puts up a high kick. There'll be no pressure for it all. They've let it bounce. They've let it bounce between three of them.
It's bounced.
And it's Topless that collects it. He then looks to pass it, but he's been hit there in a great one-on-one tackle and put to ground. It was number 11, Wade McKenzie again. Jared Austin takes the ball, a hit up, and he's up to the 30-metre line, centre of the field, tackled in the mud. Dummy half Wicks. Gives it on to Luke Clydesdale, who's tackled. They're dragging him back, 38 metres out. Still 10-0 on the A-plus contracting and poly welding scoreboard. 23 minutes remaining. Jake Clydesdale tackled just centre of the field, shy of the halfway line. Ball's played back to Wicks, and it was a typical little play from Daniel Ritter behind the markers. Nearly made some good metres, but he had plenty of time to kick that ball. It's another torpedo bomb. It's turning Dominic Cooper around. It's bounced back in favour of the Scone Thoroughbreds. Then it's tipped ahead, and now it's going to be Juicing to clean it up. He gets up. He's made some metres. It could have been a nearly dangerous play there by by Scone for Muswellbrook, but now they're up 15 metres out. Dummy half Button screaming for him to get out of the ruck. As here we go, Muswellbrook's player takes it forward over the halfway line and then wrestled and put on his back like a turtle. It's number 4, Spathis, as he goes Cridlin in for a run off the wing. And he's cleaned up there by Jimmy Everly in a great tackle. Again, they've won the ruck. Button from dummy half, off to Cabillo. Cabillo takes another hit up. He's run into Adam Clydesdale. And again, Muswellbrook put on their back by Jimmy Everly. Needs to get their front. They really need to find that. And he's, the captain coach, Rosberg, he's on his front. 40 metres out. Oh, he's dropped that.
That was a clumsy play, the ball by Rosberg.
I'd say it's a coach killer, but he is the coach.
Came out sideways. It's not meant to happen like that. It's meant to go back between your legs. He'll be disappointed with that. Muswellbrook were making their way up the field pretty much in a steady way, like the coal train passing through the back of the ground at the moment, just slow and steady, but that's just killed the momentum they were building.
They need to shift it one wide, for my belief.
Yeah.
As he goes Taylor. Taylor off the scrum. He's made it up to the 30-metre line. He's been twisted and turned, and he's made another couple of metres there. 33 metres, I'd say, 13-metre run there. As now Jake Clydesdale's up to the 20-metre line. Grew has hit him again and put him down on the one-on-one. Why are players not paying attention to that's how you tackle the bloke? You don't have to pull off the big shot, just wrestle him and put him to the ground. Watts around the back play to Topless. Topless is met and then contained and put to the ground. Great tackle there by Spathis. Now they go to the open side, and it's Daniel Ritter with the ball. Bang. It busts into Wade McKenzie. Wrestles. That flick pass again with that arm free. Now it's Isaac Austin into the defensive line. And he's wrestling with Button on top and nearly comes close to the upright. Dummy half, Luke Clydesdale. Crash play coming up. Yes, it's Watts, though. It's Jake Watts. And he's turned over and metres out from the try line. Millimetres out. Will it be Clydesdale from dummy half, or will they spend it out? They've got a play to the left. And it's Clydesdale tries himself, and Muswellbrook up to the task. They had a play set to the left, and Adam Clydesdale tried, and Muswellbrook said, we'd known this play before.
Held up, so change over.
2 captain coach errors on the last tackle.
But change over right on the try line is not a bad result in the end.
Not a bad result, but they had a good shape and structure set up out the back, and Watts was pushing Topless to get to a certain position physically. So here we go, Muswellbrook, quick play the ball. Now it's on to Mackenzie. He takes it hard and strong. 20 metres in from the Eastern corridor. About 18 metres out. Here goes Bailey Ellis, the 5'8", running as his former body used to play. Button at dummy half jumps, goes to the right-hand side out in front. That's Denya with the ball. He's moving forward, and he's made it over the 30-metre line. They're making good metres, but they need quicker play the balls. Here, Button at dummy half. That's how Adam Grew hits the ball. He hits the line. He makes it up over the 40. He's on his front. This will be a fast play the ball. Button from dummy half gets out. It's the last. They've punted it downfield. It's gone past Topless, and it's going to go into touch. Will it? No, just sits inside the field of play. And Muswellbrook are up there with the strong chase, and it is Button up there as well. Fantastic play. That was a better set from Muswellbrook. 20 metres out from the try line, Scone are, as they try to bring it in. As he comes in for a run, the centre, Johnston. And he's made good metres there. Nearly 10 metres. Slow play the ball again from the Scone thoroughbreds. Muswellbrook really getting in there. And that's a big shot. Big attempt there on Jared Austin. And it would come as no surprise to say it was Wade McKenzie. The markers jump. But it is Freddie Adams knocked Clydesdale in there. And Freddie makes it up just shy of the 50-metre line. Centre of the field. Clydesdale dummy half. Oh... That's a bit of a 50-50 call. The player going around the ruck gets shoved at Rosberg by the hooker and then knocks over the player playing the ball. Smart play by Adam Clydesdale. But now it's Muswellbrook on the defence. Scone with the tap on the eastern side.
No waiting to
Bell
get
Street
to touch,
Bridge.
just going on with it.
Here we go. Johnson taps it, gives it off to Luke Clydesdale. Hard, straight into the Muswellbrook defence, and they've caught him and dragged him back. That's what you do in these wet conditions. Jake White up front with that tackle. Clydesdale, he's thrown it along the ground. It's gone off to Isaac Austin. And Isaac Austin, the players were appealing for something, and it's a try to Isaac Austin. So the ball was passed from the dummy half. Clydesdale hit the ground at Austin. The players were calling for a knock on, and instead of playing to the whistle, they've let him pick it up and keep running the ball, and he's had one defender on him and gone over for a try. You play the whistle.
Yeah,
you play the whistle. That 20 metres out. You can see Jaden Rosberg out there asking the question of Jesse Rudder, but you play the whistle. Either way, you don't stand there and point.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen a game of rugby league yet where arguing with the ref or even questioning him gets you anywhere.
Especially after they've awarded a try.
Yeah, once the decision's made, then...
Oh, no, sorry, Mr. Rosberg. I'll bring that back out. No, he's going...
Does the ref call him Mr. Rosberg too? I thought that was just me.
Mate, when they're that big or you have no fighting ability like myself, everyone's mister.
Look, the Rams are doing well, especially in their defence there. As you pointed out, Steve, they're holding the thoroughbred players down just long enough to try and slow it down, but the thoroughbreds just seem to be able to still keep a bit of pace going no matter what. It's like they're on sort of happy pills that just sort of keep moving. Maybe it's the cold weather and they're trying to keep warm, but yeah, it's just...
Muswellbrook's had one great set though.
Yeah, and then they lost the ball.
Yeah.
So, and that's shades of their game a couple of weeks ago against Denman where they got over the line many times but just couldn't hold the ball or ground the ball. So...
Jake Watts does his little shuffle, puts himself down into that crouch position. Whatever works, you do it, Jake, as he moves in with the shuffle. Strikes the ball from near in front. Bang, over the black dot. Between the uprights, the flags go up. 16 points to nil, 16 minutes remaining in this first half on the A+ contracting and poly welding scoreboard. I'll tell you what, there's one rugged, tough bugger up there in Aberdeen, Adam Swadling.
Yes.
And I wouldn't call him Mister. I reckon I've got his measure. I'm only saying that because I know he's listening.
Hey, he scored 3 tries the other week.
No, didn't see it. As the kick-off there from Ellis goes straight to Clydesdale. Clydesdale brings it into the centre of the field. He's tackled.
Didn't see it, didn't happen.
Didn't 30. Yeah, no, if I didn't see it, I didn't call it. It didn't happen. 30 metres out from the try line, 10 metres in from touch. As there we go with Radford's now on the field. Look at that bloke go. Imagine bringing off Jake Clydesdale or an Isaac Austin and putting on Michael Radford. That shows a strong side. Radford plays the ball. Goes back to Clydesdale. In the clear. He's in the clear. Look at the speed. He's turned around himself. And he's going in for a try himself. Straight from dummy half. Carved them open. Had Muswellbrook players there to defend the outside player in Topless, even though he's got quite some toe. but the little sidestep there slipped up Jewson in this way. Mate, I don't think he's wearing sprigs because he slipped over several times, Jewson at fullback. So just turned inside out. But Adam Clydesdale, that's the class of him.
Yeah, I think the Rams just went to sleep there for a minute. It looks like we're getting a change here too. Luke Cameron's been warming up on the sideline.
Luke Van Roon.
Yeah, by a bench this week after starting last week.
Wade McKenzie, well, that's big for Muswellbrook, bringing Wado off. He needs he doesn't look happy about coming off either. He wants to stay out there.
He's been good for them so far. Been
and
one of the strongest players.
Anthony Shaw has backed up from reserve grade down there from Muswellbrook. I can't see the bench for the Scone Thoroughbreds, but one would imagine Trent Walker would have put his name down for the list. Young Jack Pennell's down there, I can see. But here we go. Again, 20 points to nil, 14 minutes to go in this first half. It seems like it's less to go, but some good football. It's just been, again, the structure and execution of the Scone side is too good for many clubs in this competition.
Yeah, look, it doesn't, it's standing here, it doesn't seem like the game is that far apart when you look at the scoreboard, but it's there, it's happened, and chance now to go another two ahead. You
can't let Scone get out to a start. Aberdeen showed that when they played with the undermanned side up there at Scone in the wet weather, and it was 6-all after 30 minutes still. Yep. So you really need to come out of the barrier strong and then dominate.
And round one, these two teams met up at Scone. And here we see the kick.
Of course he's going to kick it. I thought you were going to wait and see if you're going to go over.
And the Rams had the Thoroughbreds pretty even there at half-time, and the Scone side ran away with it in the second half. But unfortunately, 22 points to nil at the moment in favour of the Thoroughbreds.
Yes, and it's going to be Bailey Ellis again with that wobbly kick-off. It's going to Luke Clydesdale, and it's bounced back towards Muswellbrook, and Clydesdale's collected it though.
Oh, that was very lucky.
Very, very lucky as it comes out from dummy half and goes off to Radford. Look at this, mate. He will keep going. Look at him. He's throwing off players left, right and centre. He's nearly up to the 40-metre line. Can't see that line from the mud now. Ritter turns back under Isaac Austin. He's gone into Button and bumped him off before he's cleaned up underneath by Luke Van Roon and Button, Bailey Ellis over the top. Clydesdale from dummy half jumps off to Wicks. Wicks shows and goes, but he's tackled. No, he's still going. He's still on his feet. He's over the 40-metre line. Post-contact meters there were massive. Grew in that tackle. He goes topless, hands it onto...
Oh, what a hit.
That is going to make a highlights package.
That's
Rosberg
why he's the captain
just
coach.
levelled Isaac Austin. Just levelled him. As there we go.
And the kick.
Kick is going to come off the Muswellbrook player, not
We're
play
playing
that.
soccer or league here.
And it's going to be a change. No, that's going to be... that's questionable. A shoulder charge. Well, if it was a shoulder charge, fair enough. But I was going to say, it wasn't too late.
Is that because of the charge on the kicker?
Yeah, that's the charge out. You're calling it was a shoulder charge. Bailey Ellis is saying he had his hands up. We'd have to go to the replay on that one.
We're up with him, Osno.
I can't believe that Jaden Rosberg just folded Isaac Austin in half. He goes Taylor. Taylor takes a tap. He's made it up to the 10-metre line. That was a massive shot. That's a highlights package. 20 metres in from this Western Grand side. And he goes, Radford leaves one in his wake, being Van Roon, and he's put on the ground just shy of the right-hand upright, facing the TAFE and the highway at Muswellbrook. Goes around the back, goes off to Watts. Watts, a long cut out. They've got numbers out here. That's a centre. Johnson, he steps back in. He's going back into the centre of the field. He's gone over one, and he's got his arm free. Can he get it down? No, he's pushed back into the field of play. No. They've still got numbers to that left-hand side. That's the way to go. That's where Clydesdale sees it, and it's a crash ball with Bradford, and he's over the try line, and he's got it down.
They're celebrating. Will he award it?
He's gone back into the in-goal areas, but he's awarded it Jesse Rudder. A crash ball, typical unders play there from Adam Clydesdale, right on the try line. But I keep going back to that hit by Rosberg on Isaac Austin. Wait for the get square.
If they sell paper folders at Officeworks, you could put that one on the shelf.
Crikeys. That will be great to watch back. Massive shot. Much like watching Tommy Everly play a few weekends ago. I call him the assassin, and he just spears out of that line. I think you were at that Scone game.
Yes, I was.
And, I think I went home body sore just as much as the players did. It was whacking just from feeling that impact. It was, yeah. Isaac Austin to come off now, though. You'll freshen up to get square. And it's Jake Clydesdale back onto the field. And
to his credit, he got straight back up, so now he can sit on the sideline and excruciate the pain without everyone on the field seeing him.
It looks like there's a fresh, no, that's, I was about to say, a fresh jersey out there, but it's not. It's Jimmy Everly out here on this sideline. Most of them covered in mud. He must be staying out into this cleaner pastures as Jake Watts puts the ball on the tee. Near exactly from where he kicked it before. I don't even think we need to check the A-plus contracting and polywelding scoreboard to say it's going to be 28-0 with 9 minutes to go in this first half. If anything was going to lift the Muswellbrook side, it was that shot.
Mm. In fact, if they'd spread it wider once more rather than cutting in, it would have definitely been a try. So,
as he moves in with the little shuffle, kicks it straight between the uprights. Jake Watts just tallying up his Player of the Year highest point scorer award. It's got to be coming. When you look at what they've scored and what he's kicked and what he's scored.
28 points in favour of Scone.
Isaac Austin, he's such a strong player. I've never seen anyone do that to him. It's a high, short kick off from the Rams. It's going to be competed with. It comes off the Rams player. It's gone forward. And it's going to be a knock on.
Knock on, yeah.
Who was it that went up for that? I think it might have been Josh Moffat, who can jump, but I think he was tangled in a Scone player in front of him.
And Moffat's showing no signs of a late hit on him by the Greyhounds here last weekend, right in the final minutes of the game, which forced him off the field.
And of course, we'll be calling that game tomorrow between the Singleton Greyhounds and the Denman Devils. Sorry, he's Jared Austin, straight up the centre of the field. He said, I won't be folded in half like my brother. 30 metres out, centre of the field. Here goes Caleb Taylor. He takes a run. Oh, he's been hit. Solid shot by Kane Cabillo, and that's Adam Grew over the top. Well, Grew's going to have to measure up now because for the Muswellbrook side, Rosberg owns tackle of the year so far, and there's Jake Clydesdale hit very solidly.
That was.
And again, that's Rosberg in there. Solid shot. Goes wide. Ritter looks to turn someone under. It doesn't. Shows and goes himself. He's over the halfway line. 48 metres out, centre of the field. Heading towards the Muswellbrook try line. Turns it back inside for Luke Clydesdale. He says, I can go faster and further, and he gets it up to 35 metres out. Last tackle, they go the short side. A little chip over the top. Jewson running across to get there. He's going to be tackled just millimetres into the field of play. Very slow to get back there, the Muswellbrook plays. You've just got to get to the ground in that situation when you're running out from dummy half. Try and crab it a little bit forward. Button at dummy half now. Hands it on there. That is, I think that may be Spathis with the ball. No, it's not.
Yep.
Is it Spathis?
Yeah, it looks like Dennis.
Tackled down
Slow
there, centre
play
of the
the
field.
ball.
Here goes Bailey Ellis charging forward. He runs into Clydesdale there and Radford. Oh, there's another player in there as well, Jimmy Everly. As here we go. Rosberg running hard straight into the defensive line. He's turned his back and then spun, and he's on his front. He's nearly at the 30-metre line. Not much metres gained there for Muswellbrook. Dummy half. Button gives it off to Ellis. Punches it deep. But it's going straight down the throat of Freddie Adams. And here he goes. Puts it across field. Steps around one in the greasy foot. Gets to the centre of the field. And he's hit underneath there by Callum Cridlin. Great tackle.
Driven back.
He's winger on winger. Driven back.
There's a bit of feeling in that one.
As here we go, Michael Radford again. Bang, he's met very hard there by Grew. Grew goes hard, of course, all day. And that's how you need to shut down the big boys. Here goes Wicks with Topless floating around the back, but it's a flat ball, and it's been given to Jimmy Everly, and he's been tackled right there at the point of contact. 20 metres in from the grandstand, 35 metres out. That's Radford. There's no one there to shut him down, but Grew gets across there, and it's Rosberg assisting to take him down. Dummy half. Clydesdale goes to the centre of the field. Goes around the back to Watts. Watts onto Topless. They've got speed and danger out here. It's onto Johnson who puts it down. There's no urgency to get to the ball there from Muswellbrook. They could have picked that up and kept going, but it's going to be a knock-on to the Scone Thoroughbreds, a scrum feed to the Muswellbrook Rams. 20 metres out, 20 metres in from the eastern sideline. And, of course, just some great leadership there in defence, but pure from Grew and Rosberg, but just pure skill by the Scone Thoroughbreds.
Just the footy smarts. When Cridlin was in making those tackles in the centre of the field, they spread it out wide because they knew he was caught in field. But luckily, the Rams made a tackle and they didn't get there.
Dominic Cooper takes it off the back of that scrum. Now it's on to Jewson. Jewson takes a hit up. He's tackled. Oh, he's still going forward. He's made it over the 32 metres out now he is. Button at dummy half, jumps, gives it to Grew at speed. Grew's made it to the 40-metre line before he's cut down underneath by Radford and Jake Clydesdale over the top with the assistance of his brother Adam. Here it goes from dummy half. It's on to Rosberg. Rosberg runs hard and someone tries to go high on him and he's tackled on the halfway line. I think he was appealing for a penalty for a high shot there, but it was Luke Clydesdale with that one. Chip over the top. Bailey Ellis running through. Oh, a collision there. Bailey went to play at it and Topless dived on the ground to grab that one.
Topless.
As here we go now. This is a young fella. He's got speed to burn. He's straight up to the halfway line. I think that might be Johnson. It is. Now it's on the back of that. A quick play of the ball. It's Jared Austin. He's over the 40-metre line. They're now within striking distance of the Rams. The Rams slowing down that play of the ball. He goes, what's from dummy half? Off to Wicks. Down this corridor on the grandstand side, and it's been tackled 20 metres out, 20 metres in from the sideline. Button in that one, slowing the play the ball down along with Ellis. A little bit of a second effort there by Ellis.
Oh, and there's some punches thrown there.
So Jimmy Everly and Bailey Ellis.
They're still going at it, and now they're separated. Last tackle.
I don't think any of them connected, but anyway, here we go from the last tackle. Goes to the left-hand side. It's Watts again. He chips it. It's come off, deflected off a Muswellbrook play before it's collected in the field of play. Well, it was a well-timed kick. It was just impeded by a Muswellbrook player, as now it's given off to Dominic Cooper, who's charged and hit by 2-3 Scone defenders and picked up and driven on his back, centre of the field. Radford in there again as usual. Here goes Button from dummy half. It comes down this corridor in front of us, in front of the grandstand. He's tackled 20 metres out from the try line, 20 metres in. We have not called much of Muswellbrook in the late part of this half. Down in the Singleton. Oh, they've put the ball down.
Dropped it like a hot potato.
And now it's going to be zero tackle. Radford picks up the ball just shy of the about 28 metres out. And he's run forward, rid of no one there to tackle him. That's the first tackle.
The energy levels is obviously drained for the Rams. You can tell the difference.
And the urgency level. He goes Jake Clydesdale in behind the ruck off his brother Luke. Oh, he's been picked up and spun around on his back. Some solid defence there from Muswellbrook. And again, they go to the left-hand side. Here it goes on to Watts. Watts gives a crash ball onto, I think that might be Luke Clydesdale out there. And he's put down just inside the field of play. Didn't get over the try line. Oh, they're going to call that he lost the ball.
Yep.
Well, there you go. On a bit of a push and shove.
A rare mistake there from the Thoroughbreds.
Oh, and the ball's just been thrown at Luke Clydesdale's head several times. And now Rosberg's gone in there and said, don't pick on my halfback.
Handbags at 20 paces.
Of course, it was young Josh Moffat who was having a shove at Clydesdale. So it's good to see the forwards getting in there to sort out and help out their younger players. But, of course, we don't want to see any fracas. As here we go from the base of scrum. It's a flat ball off to Bailey Ellis. It comes out to Kane Cabillo. He's marked up one-on-one with Jared Austin it is, with Caleb Taylor over the top, putting him down. Plays the ball back. Ellis at dummy half gives it off to Cridlin. Cridlin steps back in behind the ruck before he's just clipped there and taken down by Taylor. Now it's dummy half. It's on to Denyer. Denyer makes it up to the halfway line. Or is that White? It is White. Sorry, my apologies. It goes out to the right-hand side. It's shifted. Trying to make metres. That's Denyer with the ball. Tackled. It's getting very difficult to see from up here at the moment. Button at dummy half. Here it goes. Straight to Rosberg. Captain coach. Straight and bang. Who was that over the top? Jake Clydesdale. Wow. Big kick coming up here. It is. It's a torpedo bomb again. And they've allowed it to bounce the Scone Thoroughbreds. What's going to happen here? There's urgency. This could be... What's happened here? It's play on. It's play on for the Rams. The referee, I thought he blew his whistle. But it's play on for the Rams. It's now 10 metres out. I'm not sure what happened, but there's a player down in the backfield.
And he's smashing the ground with his arm. He's obviously done something pretty bad.
And now it's Spathis with the ball. He takes on the line. They're just shy. What would come out of that, I'm not too sure. I thought there was an offside, but it was let play on. And now Button at dummy half. This is Muswellbrook's attacking zone. 1 minute left on the clock. Comes out to Bailey Ellis. He takes the line on himself. 28-0 at the moment on the A-Plus Contracting and Polyvoting scoreboard. Seconds now. It's under a minute rolling down. This is Muswellbrook's last shot to put points on before half-time. And now it's off to the captain coach, Rosberg. He's running towards the line. He's taken down. Hopefully it's not Grew for Muswellbrook's sake. And there it is there with Moffat turning it back inside to Ellis. He's over the try line. That's a try. Great inside-out play And unfortunately, I'm going to call it, that is Adam Grew in the back play down, injured. That's a try. Don't have to justify yourself, Jesse. You're the referee, mate. Blow the whistle. There we go. Try awarded to Muswellbrook. That's what I said they needed before half-time. It's 28 points to 4, 20 seconds remaining on the A-plus contracting and poly welding scoreboard. Scone leading Muswellbrook in a Saturday night clash at Olympic Park. But not good signs. Adam Grew knew something serious was happening, as you said, punching the deck.
Yeah, he punched the ground several times.
Fancy calling off, the kick to come.
Time off now as the ref, Jesse, walks over to the injured player to get an update on what the situation is. But the Rams still going to line up the kick for goal.
If he's out for even the rest of this game,
that's a massive loss.
Massive loss with his tackling defence and go forward. Who do they put on to replace him? So, well, he's up on his feet. That's a good start. And he's being assisted walking, but it's obviously an ankle injury, which would be something you'd typically see, an ankle or a knee under these conditions, because I think he collected a player that was on the ground at full pace.
Is the ball bounce? They let the ball from the kick bounce, and it bounced in a way that no one expected back towards the Rams players, and I think he must have twisted or something.
But he's being chaired from the
He's
field
being
at the
chaired,
moment.
so
I'll even clap that effort.
You'd think it was an ankle, I would say, at an early guess. Referee waves time back on.
It'll be Josh Moffat to take the kick. Oh, the ground announcer's giving him a sledge. He's grimacing in pain coming to the sideline. The ground announcer says, tell you what, Grewy, a little bit more fitness and you'll be fine. That's a massive call. The bloke's just played outside of his skin for 40 minutes and has been taken by sniper fire. That's a massive call. A little bit more. Oh, what the hell, Josh Moffat?
Across the face.
What was that?
That really sums up the Rams half.
What? No, sorry, that was Kane Cabillo. Why wasn't Josh Moffat kicking? That was 28-4. But anyway, that's half-time here at Olympic Park, Muswellbrook, thanks to A-plus contracting and poly welding the footy fever. 40 minutes still remaining in this second half. What can happen? 28-4. We'll be back after a short break. As we're back for the second half of the clash between the Muswellbrook Rams and the Scone Thoroughbreds. Currently on the A-plus contracting poly welding scoreboard, it is 28 points to 4. Muswellbrook missing that kick nearly right in front just before half time.
Yeah, look, it'll be interesting to see how much energy the Rams have in this second half. They just did so much tackling in the first half. You could just see the energy had drained out of them. Whereas the Thoroughbreds, they're like a team of Energizer bunnies. They're even out on the field first. They're jumping up and down to keep warm. You can just sort of tell they're on. So it's really all up to the Rams now in the second half to turn things around.
Well, as we saw Adam Grew chaired from the field, as we're waiting for the kick-off and the referees to get out there, Adam Grew chaired from the field. I said who would replace him. Well, they've put back on Wade McKenzie.
I was going to say Wade McKenzie.
He can go for 40 minutes, so he's the best option for that. As the ball's been put on the tee by Jake Watts, it's going to be kick-off and we're going to be back underway for this clash between the informed Scone Thoroughbreds and the Muswellbrook Rams. The whistle's blown. Watts moves in for the kick. He's punched it down towards the scoreboard. It's going to be trapped with a foot by Button. It's offloaded. It's Wade McKenzie straight into the action and bang.
That's a good strong run.
20 metres out, 20 metres in from the eastern sideline. They're now running towards the New England Highway side. They take a run down that short side on the eastern side and tackled there. I think that might have been Van Roon. As now Rosberg to the centre of the field. He's tackled 30 metres out, centre of the field. It's going to be hard if the match is going to be called all that end of the field at the moment. Oh, Moffat spotted a bit of a gap, but gets put down there as he trips up. And it's Luke Clydesdale over the top, dummy half. They come to the short side, and it's Denya there caught. and tackled just shy of the halfway line. He made about 45 metres in that one. Moffat, plenty of time to kick this one, and it's an end over end. It's going to be a hard take, but it has been.
Knocked it on.
That has been dropped by Jared Austin. And you see the head of young Freddie Adams drop here at the moment. As soon as that happened, his head dropped and he shook his head. They're a hard one to take, but they're ones that you've got to put your body on the line.
Yeah.
And if it's going to be hard, I always played full-back in the beginning of my career, you turn your back towards the goal line.
That's just the start the Rams need. So now they're feeding the scrum 20 metres out.
Well, it is the cliche game of two halves, but here we go. We see Moffat take the line on, and he's tackled 10 metres out, centre of the field. That was a great run from the halfback. And that's a penalty. Every day of the week from Jake Watts.
Now, they'll take the tap, of course.
Well, they don't want to take the two because they missed it before. He goes Jake Watt, straight and hard, bounces off Clydesdale, bounces off both Clydesdales in that one. He's only a metre short of the try line. From dummy half, it's going to be a crash ball to Rosberg.
He's over.
He's got about four players underneath him, and he's held up. But they've got numbers to this right-hand side. They will regroup the Scone Thoroughbreds, but there's numbers to this right side. Have Muswellbrook got any shape or structure to cause any worry? They go to the left to Wade McKenzie, though. Wade McKenzie steps back in and he's tackled over the top. Leaves one in his wake, being Jake Clydesdale. Button from dummy half. Spends it onto the captain coach around the back play. That was terrible ball. Terrible ball from Rosberg.
He dummied and then he threw it, but, ball goes to ground.
Front rowers should not be ball running front rowers. And I know he's got the 13 on the back, but come on, that's a coach killer. And you are the coach. That's a handover 10 metres out from their best attacking opportunity, and especially in the first half, and now it's going to get out of trouble, and they'll do it with ease, one would think. Here goes Jared Austin, bang, straight over the top of one. He's won the front foot there, and they're still wrestling the Rams, which slows the play the ball down. Dummy half gives it on there to Taylor. Taylor's made good yards. He's put down. No, it's not Taylor. I've been calling it Taylor. I'll wait and see. It was Johnson now from this side that went in. Button takes down the big fella in Clydesdale. Ritter runs across field, shows it inside, doesn't give it. That's the difference. They've got people running in motion, body in motions, that are giving that second opportunity of thought. Slow play the ball by Rosberg, slows it down, and now Adam Clydesdale jumps and gives it to Radford, who everyone at home knows runs like a bull at a gate, and that's what he did. They're 40 metres out. Kick from Watts. It's going to test out.
Swirling.
Oh, it's a great take there by Dominic White as he runs into the defensive line, and he's cleaned up there by young Johnson, the centre. 20 metres out from his own try line. Here goes Spathis. Now he's in for a run. He runs straight into Jake Clydesdale and two other Aberdeen players to assist him. He's 30 metres out. Button at dummy half. Gives it on to Callan Cridlin, who takes on the line. He's tackled by Jimmy Everly. Jimmy Everly twists him to the ground. He's just shy of the 40-metre line. They're making good speed, but not good metres, but not the speed's not there. As here we go, that's Jewson. Must be. Is that Jewson with the ball?
Looks like it.
Thanks, mate. And he plays the ball back. I think it was Jewson that had that play the ball. Here goes Jake White to the halfway line. They've made no metres on that play. Button from dummy half, off to Josh Moffat. A bomb put up. There's going to be pressure on Topless here, and he's collected, but he's got back to his feet, and it's hung on around the leg there by Bailey Ellis, and he's tackled just out from his try line, about 19 metres in centre of the field. Here we go, Jared Austin with a hit up. Post-contact metres are going to be big for his stats at the end of this season.
Yep.
30 metres out, creeps forward a little bit. Freddie Adams at dummy half, gives it off to Caleb Taylor. Caleb Taylor takes it up. He's at the 40-metre line. Good metres again from the Scone Thoroughbreds. Dummy half, Clydesdale gives it off to Jake Clydesdale, who makes it up to the 50 metres. He's over the 50. Another 12-metre run. That's the difference. They're burning up the metres when they get the ball. Here goes Clydesdale from dummy half. He jumps, tries to find the markers napping, but he's taken down by Rosberg over the top. I can't see who tripped him up. It was Jake White. Last tackle. Watts with the bomb. It's going to be a test for the fullback. Oh, turns his back, and it's going to be collected by Freddie Adams, who puts his foot down. He's going to go in the corner, and he does. Freddie Adams in for try number 2. for the Scone thoroughbreds. That's his second try, isn't it? I'll credit him anyway.
Yes, it is.
So there we go. 32 points to 4 on the A-plus contracting and poly welding scoreboard with only 6 minutes gone in this half. Muswellbrook gave up their best attacking opportunity after a great set to begin the match. Just a silly ball by the captain coach.
Yep. Yeah, that was a spiralling kick. The fullback
didn't look like I don't know who it was playing back there at the time, but they didn't look like they had any confidence at all.
No,
they went up for it, and then their eyes came down to the player in front of them.
And then, sort of turned sideways. The ball did end up bouncing off sideways, but into the hands of Freddie, and over in the corner. It was just a short dart. He had a bit of work to do, but he had plenty of width to play with, and he got the ball down just about a metre or so in from the sideline over the try line. So,
well, he's got plenty of speed. He's not as quick off the mark as what he used to be when he was younger. Age catches up with us, but once he got that toe, there was going to be no catching him.
Yeah, that's not exclusive to Freddie, let me tell you. We all slow as we get older.
So here we go, Jake Watts, literally an elbow to wrist distance from the sideline.
Did you measure that?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
32 minutes remaining in this match. 32-4 on the A-plus contracting and poly welding scoreboard. As I said, I'm not going to put the mockers on him, but
Well, he's been kicking well.
He's a great goal kicker. But it is soggy underfoot. And he's right in front of the 2002 reunion side down the other end. They've been rather quiet, but they've given it to him, and he's kicked it, but he's missed.
Just to the side, just to the left upright.
I was going to say that is the 2002 reunion side down there, but they've been... I thought they would have been more vocal.
Giving it to him.
No, but I mean just overall today. I think everyone was expecting it. So, but there we go. 32-4 on A-plus contracting and poly welding scoreboard. Bailey Ellis with a deep kick off. It's taken on the full there by Freddie Adams and given to the charging Isaac Austin, who goes flat out straight into Denya.
Straight over the 30-metre line.
Put down. He goes from dummy half, makes some good metres. Clydesdale does after giving it off to Ritter. Again, from dummy half, Clydesdale finds him napping at markers and passes it on to Jake Clydesdale, who turns around and passes it to a Muswellbrook player.
Not in the playbook, that one.
No, it was Button as well that took that one. And no, that's a solid shot by Johnson on young Josh Moffat. Dummy half Button. Passes off to Wade McKenzie. Tackled 40 metres out by Ritter. And Jimmy Everly, he's hurt himself in that one. Oh, no.
Time off.
Everly it was in that tackle. But, oh, no. When I say, oh, no, they've now... Grew looked like a serious injury. And if this is a serious injury to Wade McKenzie, not only today would the Muswellbrook Rams be worried about, they'll be worried about the weeks to come. Two of their valiant go-hard men.
And McKenzie is the player who replaced Grew as well.
Oh, no. Look, I think for Muswellbrook, it's hitting the advantage line. It really is. It's getting the ball back, and defensively, they're letting Scone get too far up the line. They're getting 10 and 12 metres every time they run the ball. But not just Scone. In the weeks gone by, I've watched the same defensive effort, even against Aberdeen. Look at Wade McKenzie. I'll get up and walk it off. The bloke doesn't go down for a green
That's
bite.
tough. That is tough.
Button back to Rosberg. He runs it, charges straight into the defensive line. He's put down there by Ritter underneath, and Clydesdale over the top. To the centre of the field. It goes to Bailey Ellis, shifts it around the back. It's out there to leg. Marcus Orman, in the 16. Been calling him the wrong name, but that's okay. Apologies to the young fella. Here goes Bailey Ellis, punches it into the in-goal area. Doesn't make it there. It's collected by Topless, and Topless is tackled there by Josh Moffat with the assistance of another Muswellbrook player about 15 metres out from the try line.
That was never in doubt for Topless. Silly kick.
Here we go. It's Jared Austin running like his brother, if not more metres in that one. Clydesdale gives it off to Isaac Austin. Here we go. This is the challenge. And the winger Jared made more metres on that one. Sorry, Isaac. As here it goes out from young Clydesdale onto, oh, that is a solid shot. Another great impact hit on Luke Clydesdale that time as they go across field and they can't find the gap. Now they have. They've found a fast-running Jake Watts out there on the right-hand side, but he's put down 5 metres into Muswellbrook's territory. Now Jimmy Heavley. He goes a torpedo bomb. It's going to be a test for the fullback again. He's going to let it bounce again.
Oh.
And it's...
regained by Thoroughbreds.
6
That's
to go.
6 again, yep.
No, this is not in the playbook for the Muswellbrook Rams. 20 metres out, Scone. They smell blood. It's Jake Clydesdale taking a hit up, turning his back. He's got that arm free, but he's put to the ground, right in front of the scoreboard. Here goes Clydesdale from dummy half, and he's been hit for his
that was a good
worries.
hit.
And I think that, again, is the captain coach, Rosberg.
And he's actually down.
Well, he didn't miss him. I don't know whether it was high or not.
He read that quite well. No, I don't think it was high. He just got him off guard. It was well read and well executed.
That's the second back. They're going to attack that fullback all day. All day. They're going
and why wouldn't you after the last two kicks have brought the results that they were after? And confidence would be down if you've dropped one and then that one, you'd be doubting yourself.
So it's back to his feet. Wicks at dummy half, around the back to Watts, around the back to Topless. We've seen this play many times. Johnson. No. Has he got it down? There was a bit of a attempt to hold him up, but he's got the ball down by the looks of it. The referee's in the in-goal line, points to the spot. Hang on.
He's consulting his touches.
Consulting, yes, it's a try. Great try to young Johnson. Great backline move. Topless offloading to him. A valiant effort to try and hold him up in mid-air and flip him onto his back, but he gets the ball down. And again, it comes from a very bad fullback read.
Yep, and the urgency, the difference between Scone and Muswellbrook is chalk and cheese at the moment. Scone, like I said at the start of the second half, it's like they're the Energizer Bunnies, a team of them. They're always in motion, and that was just too fast.
36-4. 28 minutes remaining in this match. Scone playing just too good for Muswellbrook tonight on the A+ Contracting and Poly Welding scoreboard. Again, the Footy Fever boys bringing you the commentary. It's going to be a conversion again. This one, it's about 11 metres in from the sideline, but it's again in front of those guys from the 2002 winning grand final side from the Muswellbrook Rams. No doubt they'll be reminding him of the last kick, but I'll back him in on this one.
Yeah, it's in a lot closer. Apart from that last kick, he's been striking them pretty well.
As Orman comes off, and now Luke Van Roon goes in. Maybe for Orman's sake, I start calling him Van Roon, calling him Orman. A valiant effort there by Orman coming off the bench there for Muswellbrook. Did his job. But Jake Watts about to move in. Put the points up, missed the scoreboard man, because he's kicked it straight between the uprights.
Yep, perfect.
Again, he's a talented footballer, and he just keeps clocking up those points to the highest point scorer of the year award. Now, what's Muswellbrook got? It's been a great defensive effort by Rosberg, I tell you. He's pulled off a few nailing shots this match.
I think Rosberg's been the standout. Only 2 errors from him all game. But there have been 2 vital errors, unfortunately.
Freddie Adams catches it on the in-goal area and gives it off to Isaac Austin, who runs hard and fast. And, oh, what's this for, this one? I didn't think... I'm going to have to watch this one back.
Yeah.
I think there was an arm out there. A shoulder charge, really? So it's going to be Scone, 45 metres out to take the tap. Maybe Jesse's just warming back to the game. Here goes Luke Clydesdale straight in. Oh, good tackle, good collision and impact there, taken down by Josh Moffat and Spathis. Dummy half. Watts out to Clydesdale. Clydesdale onto Austin. Again, it's Wade McKenzie in there wrestling with him with Jacob Button. Jacob Button just slowing that play the ball down. Clydesdale from dummy half off to Ritter around the back play to Wicks. And it's on to Jimmy Everly, who's been taken down there, collected by Van Roon, but it's also Denya out there White, sorry, giving him a bit of trouble. The short side play is on. Wicks palms off one. He's got his arm free. It's topless. Oh, he's taken down. Just shy of the try line. It's going to be a quick play, the ball. Dummy half goes to the short side, and it's been put down. No, it's going to be a try. It's been put down there by Jared Austin in the in-goal area. Isaac takes the chockies on that one and will be giving his brother a spray. It's catchable. Even a front rower out in the wing, he says, would have caught that one. But again, Muswellbrook.
The Rams again nearly caught out by the just the speed of the movement from the thoroughbreds.
But here we go, Muswellbrook again in trouble in their own end. They're going to have to get out of here. Spathis with the ball. He runs straight into the defensive line. He has to get a quick play of the ball here. He's trying. He gets to his feet, plays it, Button from dummy half. Gives it off to, I cannot see from the bodies in front of me that person, but a Muswellbrook player for sure. Plays it back. It was Wade McKenzie. Now it's come to the short side and it's off to, I think that might be White or Denya with the ball there at the moment being tackled. 30 metres out, 20 metres in. Now they've made it to the centre of the field. And that there might be Wade McKenzie for his second hit up in this set. It's not, it's Denya. And here we go, Rosberg rolling up the centre of the field. They're just shy of the halfway line. They're not making the metres that Scone are making. Button will go to Ellis. No, he comes to Josh Moffat. Kick coming through. It's a high one. It's going to be a let bounce again. And it's going to bounce back towards Muswellbrook, but the ball is on. Oh, it's knocked on again. It's picked up. It's play on, and it's going to be juicing in for a try in the corner.
Yeah,
Jared Austin again spilling the cookies. Why would those wingers and fullback be letting the ball bounce?
Especially in these conditions. That was well capitalised on, and the try is awarded. And that's what Muswellbrook have to do. If they've got any chance of getting back into this game, they've got to take their opportunities, which have been few and far between, and that certainly was one of them.
So that ball bounced sideways, completely sideways. In this boggy field, I backed Jared Austin to get to it, but a little bit of a knock on when he went to collect it in the mud, and then collected by Spathis. Jewson, and he runs
Sprints
in for
away.
a corner.
Yep.
So it's 38 points to 8. 23 minutes remaining on the A-Plus Contracting and Polywelding scoreboard. It's Bailey Ellis to take the kick from the sideline. If you can't kick him in front, of course, you give him to the bloke that can kick goals. They've got two out there, Bailey Ellis and you've got Josh Moffat. Josh Moffat walking back there on side. I can see him being very theatrical with his display of what he's expecting from his players. And funnily enough, he's talking to Wade McKenzie, which I don't think he needs much explanation of what to do.
No, he's been one of their best. And obviously he's trying to change the opinion of Jaden Rosberg after he was replaced not that long into the first half. And then came back on, obviously, with Grew when he was injured just before the halftime hooter. So
the number 15 is on the field.
And it's a goal.
Yeah, well, he can kick a ball, Bailey Ellis. Number 15 is on the field. Is that? I can't see who that is. That's not Marcus Bauer, is it, in the 15? Did he give you a tip there?
Surely not. No. He's talking about going to have a beer.
Okay. Well, my eyesight from here is not catching that number 15, so I'll have to wait for someone to give it to me.
Unless beer.
Oh, look at this for a run up from Wade McKenzie, straight into the defensive line. He's met and he's still going.
That's the energy they need. They need to keep that up now.
As now it's Button to Bailey Ellis, who he takes on the line. Crunched.
Oh, that was a hit.
Crunched off, caught off balance and crunched there by Isaac Austin. Now it's the number 15, puts his head down, burrows into it, and that's good metres. Put down. Of course, Butto appealing for, he's lost the ball. And you know what? I know that young fella's name. It's just not coming to me.
Oh, I'm new, so that's my excuse. What's yours?
Memory loss, mate. Too much floating in between these things, between my ears. Too much information.
Yeah, they say you can only fit so much in there, so yours must be overloading at the moment.
Definitely.
So this scrum's going to be packed right in the mud patch.
Yeah, well, it's going to be...
If ever you want to collapse a scrum like they did in the old days, now's the time to do it.
Here we go. It's come out to Johnson, the try scorer from earlier on. He's taking on Spathis, and it's going to be one-on-one strip. No, Moffat doesn't get it. Johnson collects it. Now it's a watch from dummy half. He gives it off to flat-footed Isaac Austin on that one, and he's put down, but still gets his front foot. It's slowing down the play of the ball. As now comes out to Watts. He's got a second option there, but he gives it off to Luke Clydesdale, who's tackled 20 metres out from the 25 metres out from the try line, 20 metres in from the Western grandstand here, and it's Clydesdale. Adam just jogging up the field. Everyone's standing off him. Dummy half. Watts off to Wicks. Backline movement here, but Wicks takes it on himself. He shrugs off. Oh, no, he doesn't, because he's hitting the ribs by, exposed ribs by Wade McKenzie.
He should have passed it.
Last tackle, it's going to be a crash ball, but again, it's a changeover short of the try line. Nice option, but probably would have been better to put Muswellbrook in, just a little chip in there to give them a repeat seat. But here we go, though. Can they make a mistake? The Scone Thoroughbreds force a mistake from the Muswellbrook Rams. Centre of the field, 5 metres out, playing the ball. Dummy half button. Here he goes on to Spathis. The boy has got leg speed, and he's made some good metres there.
It's been very impressive today. He's taken the ball a lot and made some good tackles too.
Here goes Rosberg rolling up the park, and before he's hit over the top by the captain coach, and underneath by Isaac Austin. It's now Josh Moffat. There's nowhere to go, mate. You dummied and you ran straight into Jake Clydesdale. You couldn't have picked a bigger bloke on the field. And he put on his back. He did call hell when he was on his feet and then was put down on his back, but he goes button onto White. White makes it up to the 40-metre line. Last tackle. They're only not making yardage into the opposition territory, I can tell you that. Sorry, that was Denya with the ball. Now it's a kick chase again, and it's Jared Austin collects it. He's palmed off. Oh, he's dropped the ball again. No, as Phil Gould will say.
No, that's not what you want.
Jared Austin, boy I've had so much praise for, has had a game to forget.
I was about to say, at least he held on to that one and then he spilt it, so glad I didn't.
It's Muswellbrook on the attack, 35 metres out, 20 metres in from the eastern side. They've gone the short side. That's Moffat. Passes it on to the Juice and the try scorer from before.
Oh, he sidesteps.
He
trips
and
then
goes
lunges.
over.
Yes.
Lunges for the try. He stepped inside topless in these greasy conditions. Topless lost his footing. Wicks tried to tackle. He flipped off, and then Spathis takes the lunge. 38 points to 14 on the A-plus contracting scoreboard. 18 minutes to go. Jared Austin, I mean, mate, they're a quality side, and he can't blame himself, but just some uncharacteristical errors there.
Sometimes you just don't have a good game.
And that's a rare opportunity when it comes his way. He very passionate about his football and commits himself, and he'd be beating himself up right now. Let me tell you, Darren.
Yeah, but the Rams just seem to have upped their energy in the last 5 minutes or so. They're really struggling to get over the halfway line in their sets of 6, but just through that error, they've managed to get across the line again as we go for another conversion from out wide. A little bit closer in this time, but not much.
I'm trying to see. That looks like Bailey Ellis again.
Yeah, we'll give it to Bailey.
He moves in, strikes it, looking better, and he's kicked it. Bailey Ellis takes it to 38 points to 16 with 16 minutes to go. Stranger things have happened, but I don't think they're going to happen tonight. But it is a good finish to the game for the Muswellbrook Rams, the way things are happening at the moment.
Never say never.
Well, they've come from behind 22 points before, but 38's a big ask. It's taken on the full there, and it's handed on to the hard running. And he's gone straight through the line. He's up to the 30-metre line and brought down in the tackle off that kickoff return.
And quick play the ball too.
And there's Bailey Ellis, the goal kicker, playing 5'8", that must have moved into the forwards because he's up to the 40-metre line, centre of the field. Button from dummy half. Muswellbrook with momentum. It's Rosberg. And guess what? Muswellbrook a third tackle on the halfway line.
Yeah, this is better. Their energy's gone up again. It's amazing
Moffat
what a try
runs
does.
the ball, and then next thing you know, that's a great gap ball by Spathis, but he's passed it to the wrong
Passed it
player.
to the Scone player.
And he's got to given it to the boy with speed, Johnson, who's trying to palm off players. And then he dives over the top for his efforts.
There's so much promise in that.
That looked good, but just wasn't executed. Oh, you can't give a penalty for that.
That was a sloppy play the ball.
That was sloppy, and that's not laying in the ruck.
And understandably, Rosberg is protesting.
So that'll make Darren Whitbourne the number one referee in the competition, closely followed by Tyrese Anderson at the moment. Silly decision from Jesse Rudder. As he goes, look at this for metres. Luke Clydesdale, bang, hit, charged. Going to be a couple of decisions that I'm going home to look back at, let me tell you that right now tonight. Isaac Austin straight up the middle. I might have to do a referee's report tonight. But from dummy half, Clydesdale around the back to Wicks. And it's off to Topless. Topless dummies, goes himself. This will be a try. Come on.
He's past three players.
Ladies league tag. And he gets it down. That was a weak effort of defence there from Muswellbrook Rams, and the captain coach would be spraying them about that. Topless over for a try. 42 points to 16. Just a classy Scone outfit, but geez, I've got to tell you what, there's been some bad decisions.
Yeah,
that doesn't reflect the scoreboard, but geez.
No, that looked pretty obvious. Just a sloppy play the ball, but
how does a player roll out from that position when they're to the side of the play the ball anyway? Like, it's not right there.
Yeah, and Jaden Rosberg again loudly protesting on behalf of his team to the referee, but at the end of the day, Scone were like, let's just play on, and it's almost like Scone was still arguing, and before he knew it,
Jesse's a good referee. I like the kid, but maybe it's a lack of consistency of being there with the game, or one of his touch judges has let him down there. I'm not too sure, but 100% you do not. That's not a penalty any day of the week in any other game.
Well,
I've
unfortunately,
watched plenty of Group 21 this year, let me tell you, and no.
Unfortunately, we're all human and we do make mistakes, and in our view that certainly was, but now Scone converting for yet another 2 points to put it out of reach.
Smart play by Adam Clydesdale. Very smart
absolutely.
play. That's the football brain. On the other side of the coin, that was very intelligent. As he goes, Watts. He puts it over.
Flags go up again.
44 points to 16 on the A+ contracting and polywelding scoreboard. Scone Thoroughbreds leading the Muswellbrook Rams after a little bit of wind in the sail for the Muswellbrook Rams, but again, it wasn't Jesse that missed the tackles. He may have made him a bad decision down here, but that was league tag stuff. Kick-off from Bailey Ellis. It's going to come towards the sideline. How's it going to bounce? They let it bounce. That's collected by young Johnson. Johnson runs the ball like a front rower.
That was a big run.
And he's tackled around the legs by Denyon over the top by White. As they go to the centre of the field through Freddie Adams, and he's tackled 35 metres out. Do they keep going to the right-hand side towards Jared Austin? They do. But it's only a one-out play by Jake Clydesdale. They're 42 metres out from the try line. That's the difference. They're making yards. Here's Ritter. Turns it back inside. Oh! That is...
Damn! He goes down.
Oh, my God. Now, that's not a shoulder charge. That is just a well-timed good hit. Number 11, Wade McKenzie. You've just beat your captain coach for hit of the year. And it was Isaac Austin again. Isaac ironed out. That was a massive shot.
It's like Austin's had a target on his head today.
But it was just well read.
It was.
Oh, my God. Jaden Rosberg take a back seat. Wade McKenzie has just got hit of the year for your club. He's out the back of the scrum. It comes to Ellis. It's gone on to the young centre. Is it? It's tackled there with the ball. Number 3.
Hard to see with the mud on the jumper.
Kane Cabillo. He goes... Rosberg, he's run into 3 Scone defenders. He's put to the ground. Button in the praying mantis position with his arms up. And here we go through the rounds again. It's White. He stumbles before he gets to the line. He's put down. They're 28 metres out from the try line. The Muswellbrook Rams on the attack. It's gone around the back to Bailey Ellis. He's passed it off to Van Roon. Van Roon makes it over the 20-metre line. They're now in striking distance. Can they complete? Can they execute? They go on the blind side. Bailey Ellis. He turns his back and pulls up just before the try line. 10 metres out, 10 metres in from the eastern sideline. What have they got? Last tackle. Goes back to Josh Moffat. He puts a cross-field kick. This is going to be the challenge. But Spathis catches, he knocks it on.
Yes.
And here we go. It's a Freddie Adam foot race. He's down the sideline and he's caught from behind by Denya. 15 metres out. Watts in the dummy half. Gives it off to Clydesdale. Oh, big tackle there by Rosberg. Geez, he's had a mammoth game. He lost that ball.
Yeah, he lost that.
He lost it.
Appealed to the touch judge and he just stared blankly at them.
Liam again has not seen it. We saw that from up here. Dummy half.
Nothing wrong with our eyes.
Nothing happening up here. As a Scone player is tackled now. Centre of the field, 25 metres out. Button completing that one. As now goes to the right-hand side, it's off to Caleb Taylor. He's taken it up to 42 metres out from the Scone line. That's the least they've made in meterage in a set of 6 this game. As here we go, bang. Kick downfield from Wicks. Let to bounce again by the winger. He's collected it. He's coming back towards the centre of the field. He's gone into, I think that's Isaac Austin out there making the tackle, the big front rower with the big kick chase, along with his brother Jared. Dummy half goes to the blind side. It's Jewson. He's made some good metres. Don't flirt with that sideline too much though, son. 35 metres out, inches in from the eastern sideline. Callan Cridlin goes in for a run. He's cut down on the 40-metre line, 10 metres in from touch. Button at dummy half. Off to Bailey Ellis. On to Jaden Rosberg. They're going to be trying to pull off a shot here soon. And Ritter takes him from the side. They're still 42 metres out. Here we go. Wade McKenzie. He shrugs off one. It was Isaac Austin, but Isaac comes back for a second attempt and puts him down with the assistant of Adam Clydesdale. Here goes the kick from Josh Moffat. He's not picked the Jared Austin. They've let it bounce between them again, the fullback and winger. I don't know what they're thinking, but here goes Jared Austin. He's being dragged back, and he's now 12 metres out from his own try line, centre of the field. Tell you what, if any club's done it, Muswellbrook has slowed this play the ball down. It's the first time I've seen the Scone defensive attacking side having slow play the balls.
No, they've been pretty effective at it. It's just what happens after they play the ball.
Exactly, it's this metres, but here goes Radford. They'll meet him at the defensive line, but again, he's made big metres. Big fan of the big boy. 35 metres out, 21 metres in from the western sideline. Here goes Luke Clydesdale. He's made another 10 metres. He's taken down about 15 metres in from the western sideline.
He hasn't stopped.
Jake Watts from dummy half gives it off to Ritter. Ritter's in behind the ruck again for a run. It's the last tackle, 45 metres out from the Rams line. Jake Watts just taps it down, and that's Cabillo back there. He takes it on the full, runs towards the centre of the field, tries to step inside Isaac Austin, but loses his footing and is brought down there by Jared Wicks. Button the dummy half off to Callan Cridlin. He runs at the line. He's just met there by solid defence and put down. Not much done there, not much meterage. They go on the short side, and again it's Bailey Ellis. Taps it on to Dewson. Dewson flirting with the sideline. He's been put into touch. Jared Austin making up for the errors before with a great tackle. 44 points to 16. 7 minutes 30 to go on the A+ Contracting and Poly Welding scoreboard. Scone now with a perfect opportunity. This is their ideal. They're 40 metres out, 20 metres in from the sideline. They'll set up for a play here with 15 metres gained there by Michael Radford. The dummy half jumps. It was Wicks, and it's in behind the ruck again. So I know that's Daniel Ritter. They're 10 metres out from the try line. This is where they're dangerous with their shape. And it's going to come to the open side. It's going around the back. It's Watts. A cutout pass to Johnson. Johnson with... Oh, that was a solid tackle.
What a great tackle.
Fantastic tackle.
And the ball comes loose.
Lost it. That is number 5. That is Dominic Cooper. Take a bow. He's hit him right in the breadbasket and then put him to the ground. He's lost the ball.
Been some real good hits from the Rams today, but unfortunately they're still on the wrong end of the scoreboard for their supporters. But that was a great hit. Very well read.
Especially for the speedy young boy.
Absolutely. I was almost certain he was over, and just out of nowhere, he came and knocked him flat.
I think he thought he was over too, but the thing is, you have a play run marked outside, you always use them.
Yeah. Don't hog the ball, as my coach used to say.
Yes, totally. Freddie Adams would have scored that if that ball was passed on. That's now Butto from dummy half, passing it out to Ellis, and they're going down that corridor again. Jewson again with the ball. He's been dangerous when he gets the ball. His leg's still moving. 30 metres out, 20 metres in from the eastern sideline, running towards the highway end. Here goes Bailey Ellis. He's had a big game as well. He's up to the 40-metre line. Isaac Austin making that tackle. I just can't believe Isaac Austin's been levelled twice in one match. As here goes White. Steps off, goes through.
He's through.
And
Almost
he's tackled
through.
just over the halfway line.
No one there to support him.
Goes back to Bailey Ellis, who passes it on there. He's got numbers out there. Jewson's now with the ball. He turns one inside out.
He's beaten him again.
Through, and he's caught by the jersey. Last tackle. 21 metres out, 10 metres in from the sideline. Button goes to short side. He goes to Josh Moffat. Little grubber inside. It's a race between Button and Topless, but Topless takes that one. Metre out from the try line. Jared Austin tries to take a C line. He's caught by the arm by Button and taken down 8 metres out from his own try line. Dummy half. Passes it on to Michael Radford. That's the man that'll make the metres, but he's been well cut down short there. Great defence from the Rams on that one. It's Clydesdale from dummy half. On to Isaac Austin, and he's been pushed back. He's going to know he's played a game of football today, Isaac. Bailey Ellis, big tackle. It's here he go. Daniel Ritter, where did he go? Back in behind the ruck. That's where the metres are. I say that to a lot of players.
But fifth and last, and they're not even at the 40.
And there goes a downward kick. Just down along the ground. It's going to Dominic Cooper. He's going to collect it. He's going to take on the line. Oh! That's a penalty. That was a clothesline. He got up and kept going, to his credit. He wanted to make more metres, and he taps Freddie Adams on the arm and says, mate, that's all right. That's how you play. He could have laid down there and appealed for, whatever he wanted.
I don't know why the ref waited so long to play the penalty. Like, what was going to happen?
I think he was playing the advantage, but, Freddie doesn't typically tackle like that either. But like I said, Dom Cooper's a credit. He got up and kept going. He could have laid down there like a soccer player. But guess what? He's lining up right now to take the hit up off the tap. No, they're going around the back. They're going off to
And I can reveal exclusively that kick into touch was kicked straight towards Chanel Matayutai, who didn't get the ball because he's got a hot dog in one hand and a drink in the other.
Let's try for the one-on-one strip. Number 16's got it. Hang on, here we go. We're going to Isaac Austin try the one-on-one strip on Van Roon.
Who's he going to give the feed to?
He's giving it to Muswellbrook. Well, I just can't believe that, to Jesse's defence, that knock-on that was down here, clearly seen by both of us and the touch judge, doesn't want to borrow it. People standing next to us watching, calling for a knock-on, not Muswellbrook supporters. So...
here's a good chance for the Rams. 40 metres out from the try line as they feed the scrum.
There we go. It's Budden from the base of the scrum off to Moffat. He's got that speed about him. He's a touch footballer, national touch football player. And he's brought down 21 metres out, 10 metres in from the eastern side. Here we go. Bang. Comes out of the line like a lightning bolt, does Daniel Ritter, to make that tackle. He's fired up now, Daniel Ritter.
Rosberg dummies and runs.
And then again, it's Radford with Austin coming in for the shot on the side to complete the tackle. Button off to Moffat. Oh, great ball. Spathis is in the clear.
And he's in.
Who went for that intercept? Who went for the intercept from the Scone thoroughbred?
I couldn't see because the light post is in the road, but...
Johnson tried to go for the intercept.
Which is interesting because last week against Singleton, Spathis took a intercept down on his try line and ran the whole length of the field to score.
That intercept was never on. That was a rocket-like ball that was well timed. You just got to commit yourself to the defence.
And Spathis, he loves to dive when he scores. He flies through the air. He's almost like Superman.
And you know what? He's one of the ones that put his hand up and said he wants to join the commentary when he's available. So, mate,
well, as long as he doesn't do it over the side here, because he'll hit the concrete. But no, that's a great try by the Rams. Well executed.
Well, 44 points to 20. Scone leading Muswellbrook on the scoreboard. Look, not reflective. Scone's been the in-form side I thought they would have been pushed out a bit further, but 44 points to 20 on the A+ Contracting and Poly Welding scoreboard. 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining on the clock. Bailey Ellis with the conversion from the sideline.
Yeah, and I'll head down to the sideline to grab some interviews, I think.
No problem. I'll leave you with that. Thank you for your time. Bailey Ellis with the kick from the sideline to take it as a 50% change in the scoreline, but no, it had missed it. Gone straight across the face of the uprights. 44 points to 20, 30 seconds counting down on the clock. Scone running back for the kick-off. They'll want to finish this game, but again, just some fantastic execution. But Muswellbrook good in patches, but Scone typical. They're just great to watch in any game throughout the competition. As here we go. It's going to be Van Roon, I think, with that ball with a hit up, and he brings it to the 20-metre line. Only 13 seconds remaining. They've probably got one play left in them. Button at dummy half. Passes it on to Rosberg. He takes a charge in towards the line. It was Ritter that tried to come across and get him, but it was cleaned up by Wicks. Centre of the field. 30 metres out. Downfield kick. You've got speedsters from the Scone Thoroughbreds back there, and it's topless. It just lays down, succumbs to the tackle. They put a hand on him, and that's it for the ball game. 44 points to 20. Scone running out winners over the Muswellbrook Rams at home at Olympic Park. Fantastic performance. Isaac Austin folded in half twice. Very, very solid hits out there from both sides. Michael Radford having a big game. Really can't pick a player of the match out of that effort because it was very dominant from the Scone side. But to Muswellbrook, I think it's just back to the drawing board, and especially when it comes to those kicks down at fullback and committing himself to the ball. But for that call, that's me over and out. Until tomorrow from the Singleton-Denman clash, we'll see you then.